Thank you. Good evening. Apologize for this slight delay. We weren't trying to connect everything because we are talking about connecting. Now we are trying to connect the streaming and on live. So we are here in this event. This event is a very important event. We call this Protechting Connect, and it's important on the road, a main event on the road of Protechting 6.0. My name is José Vila de Freitas from Fidelidade. Francisca is with me. She's gonna talk much better a little later because I want to give you some words about Protechting. I don't know if all of you are aware. Protechting is an open innovation program launched by Fidelidade, Fosun, and Luxaúde in 2016, exactly when Fosun arrived here in Portugal. And since the launch of Protechting, we've received more than 1,000 applications. But most important than 1,000 applications, they came from all around the world, meaning we've received 60 applications from 60 different countries. But we've tried to put better and better things in Protechting, and we have some news about this edition. Because the good news are for the girls, I ask you, Francisca, to give the good news about Protechting this edition.
Thank you, José. So I'm Francisca from Center for Transformation of Fidelidade. And as José was saying, this year we had several news and good news about Protechting. So this year we had more people involved internally, since we had more than 40 innovation heroes supporting us, finding and selecting the best startups that we have here today. Also, we have a new partner, Fábrica de Startups, that they also helped us from the scouting to the organization of the boot camps and all the communication with the startups. And also we have more benefits for the startups this year. They had access to our VC partners, they have the possibility to do paid pilots, and they also have access to Web Summit next week. So we believe that this is why we also doubled the number of applications this edition. So we had more than 250 applications. We had more than 55 countries involved. We did more than 30 interviews. We had more than 20 areas and companies involved in this edition. And in the end, we selected the 14 startups and the 3 main partners. So these were really good news for this edition.
And that's the kind of thing that we're going to share in this event. This is also good news, a very short event. we have also the important part of the event, the network after this event, but we have here representative from our 3 partners of this program. So the welcome is already done. Miguel Abcacis will be the first one to speak from Fidelidade. Li Jiang will speak in name of Fosun, and Francisca Leite will speak in name of Hospital da Luz Learning Health. And then we're going to give the word and the space for what is the really important thing here, meaning the collaboration between the corporate and startups. So that will be startup time. Pitches from almost all the startups are together in this edition of Protechting. Some of them will go with us or representing Protechting on Web Summit. And some of them are linked and in collaboration with Fidelidade, some of the other with Luxaúde or even Multicare. So we'll have, after that, Rui Coutinho. Rui Coutinho is the Executive Director from Innovation Ecosystem from Nova SBE. And, as I told before, and I'm going to repeat again, a very important thing about this is network. Network is also made with some kind of food and some kind of drink. So let's start with important things, knowing that in the end we'll have also good news.
Exactly, of course. As the Friday night promises, we'll have free drinks in the end, so you can enjoy, network, and please use also our connection board. I think it's fun to do it. But of course, for now, please stay tuned. And I will welcome first our first representative of our main partners. Please welcome to the stage Miguel Abcacis, board member of Fidelidade.
Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Zé Maria. It's indeed a privilege to be here today. In this room, there is a tremendous concentration of energy, passion, creativity, inspiration, and brilliance. As you saw before, we'll have today, it's actually not 14 presentations, but 11 presentations of startups that actually went from a group of more than 250, and they are now in the last 14. So these startups are all winners. They're all winners. They have tremendous potential, and we're here to support them. Protechting, as said before, is a program that's been created by Fidelidade, Fosun, the father of Fidelidade, and Luz, the daughter of Fidelidade. And let me talk to you a bit about Fidelidade's innovation agenda, because Protechting is a pillar of that agenda. Fidelidade's innovation agenda has three key areas. One is about open innovation, and that's all about bringing innovation from the outside to the inside, and fueling innovation both towards leveraging our core insurance business in the different lines of business that we have, but also going beyond that and extending to servicing and other adjacent areas of insurance. The second area is around new ventures, where we pretty much develop from scratch new startups, corporate startups. We have three right now. Fixo, a marketplace for home services, fantastic platform, you should try it. Just in case, which is actually an insurance concept, but an embedded insurance concept that we can pretty much integrate and hardwire into third-party platforms. And a very brand new concept that we've been launching, which is Sophia. It's still a beta version that it's pretty much aiming to be a one-stop shop for seniors. And the third pillar is around the third area of innovation of the innovation area in Fidelidade is around integrating in the ecosystem of startups, venture capital firms, and the whole entrepreneurship ecosystem with and together with the partners, the venture capital firms with whom we work, which actually were an active part of Schilling and Big Start Venture, an active part of the Protechting program this year. Protechting is mostly geared towards helping us on the first area of innovation, open innovation. Still, it is also true that we've been witnessing that over the years, and as we progress, and Protechting is improving every year. I think this year was better than the last year. Probably next year it will be better than this year. The number of applications is going up. The quality of the startups also. I think the way we can kind of sugarcoat and nurture those startups is also improving. And the truth is, in the past, we've already seen startups contributing both to Pillar 2 on our new own ventures, but also the reality is, in the third pillar, we've had startups that grew in the Protechting program and eventually were invested by venture capital firms with whom we work. So Protechting is actually a fantastic best-of-breed program to feed into all three elements of our innovation program. But not only do we benefit tremendously, Fidelidade, from the Protechting program, but I think in reality you also, as startups, do. And I think we are very well positioned, and we have a constellation of partnerships and competencies that help then bring capabilities to the startups that make these kind of a win-win program for everyone. So I'm going to leave you now with Ling Zhang, because I think we're all also eager then to hear about the pitches. I think we will all leave this place at the end of this session with a smile on our faces. It probably will become even a bigger smile after some drinks in the end, but I'm sure these startups will really impress you. I've heard about a few of them, and it really knocks you down. Ling Zhang, I think you're next.
So it's a great pleasure for me to be present today. And since I represent Fosun Group and the Fosun Foundation, it's my obligation to say a few formal words, but hopefully I will make it briefly so that we have more time for pitching and also more time for networking. So indeed, it's the 6th edition of a Protechting competition. As Jose mentioned in the beginning, this program started in 2016. But since then, as a joint initiative of Fosun Foundation, Fidelidade and Luz Saúde, Protechting program has always followed the theme of promoting innovation among young talents. And we have followed this since 2016. And now we have grown this brand from Portugal as an international brand, and with more and more positive social impact in other countries and the regions. And this is to thank for your active participation and also the participation of your predecessors. Fosun Foundation always follows the original mission of assisting the world, and is committed to empowering international and the industrial development and the young entrepreneurs in all the innovation activities, and bearing the responsibility of global social development and promoting the benevolent use of technology. And a special feature for this edition, for the 6th edition of Protechting, is Fosun Foundation has formed a strong partnership with some strong institutions in China, namely in Shanghai. They are the Science and the Technology Association and the Foundation of Returned Overseas Chinese of Shanghai Jing'an District. Until now, they have hosted a series of seminars and roadshows to promote innovation dialogue for the young talents in Shanghai. And this initiative has already led to the establishment of a new platform in Shanghai, namely an incubator co-branded by Protechting and a China Association for Science and Technology. This is important in the sense that nowadays people are talking about the decoupling, but in reality, China is still one of the most active locations for startups. We have the names like Alibaba, we have the names like Tencent, but we are expecting more and more young startups coming to China and coming from China. So this platform will offer you the chance to access Chinese market and the huge opportunities in China. So, in fact, we are living now in a more and more turbulent world, which is full of risks and uncertainties. But one thing is for sure, which is innovation. So innovation will not stop evolving, and the innovation will eventually help all the companies, households, and the families and individuals overcome and confront all these challenges. So last but not the least, all our three sponsors, namely Fosun, Fidelidade, and Luz Saúde, feel very lucky that we have the chance to support you in your endeavor to become innovative and excellent. So we are very excited to your inspiring ideas and stories in this competition. Thank you all. again.
Another Francisca. Hi, I'm very happy to be here representing Hospital da Luz and Luz Saúde. In fact, my job here is really easy because hospitals are the most inspiring places to work, right? And startups that have products for hospitals are the most inspiring startups. And because it's really a sector and a business area where we really feel like we're helping people. And that's the main thing about healthcare, and that's why also every year, and here in Protechting as well, healthcare startups are always really amazing startups. Nonetheless, it's super difficult, as many of you know, to innovate in healthcare, and that's because we are inherently risk-averse. We cannot fail in healthcare, because if we fail in healthcare, people might get even sicker or even die. And this is something that sometimes we do not realize, but there's a real risk, and we know that medical error is something that really kills a lot of people every year. So we have to be risk-averse, and there's a lot of regulation in place to really make sure that everything happens as it should, but of course this delays innovation. And that's why programs like these are so important, not only because we become aware of all the amazing startups and all the amazing products that are out there, but also because it gives you guys the opportunity to come to the hospital and to have access to resources that we are making available to you and that will help you reach to the level where maybe, hopefully, we can get your solutions and apply them. And so we offer a way that we can really develop, test, talk with the people that are going to be the users, and make sure that you reach the level where we can really implement your solutions. We have participated in Protechting since the first edition, I think. This is the 6th edition, right? We have invested in one of the startups that was an early finalist in 2017, maybe. They're now going to a Series A. So it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And we're very proud of the job that we've been doing with a lot of the startups that have worked with us throughout the years. And the thing is, we really need you guys, because healthcare is so complex that it really has to be a team effort between the hospitals, the providers, the payers, the industry, the academia, and of course the startups. So really happy to be here, and I know a lot of the solutions already. Some are extremely exciting, and I'm looking forward to hear you guys speak tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Francisca. And now it's the time for startup pitching. But with no pressure. Look, you heard what they said, so you came here and just make an unforgettable presentation. With no pressure, please. Okay? So, first startup, please. Who is first startup? It's not like I want to be. It's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. Thank you. My name is Tiago Santos, and I'm a co-founder at Agit. We have developed a technology that tracks physical exercise using the smartphone camera. Our goal is to create a personal fitness assistant for everyone, because exercising alone can be difficult and boring. And current solutions actually don't solve this problem. For instance, fitness apps, they give you workout plans and great videos explaining how to do the exercises, but they don't assess if or how you do the exercise. So that's what we decided to fix. We track physical exercise using the smartphone camera. And it's very simple for the user. He puts the smartphone on the floor, like this good-looking guy here, and he just starts moving. We track, we guide him through the workout session, we assess how he does things using our own AI. But this is actually where things is just starting. Because at the end, when we actually enable authentic communities, fair competitions, workout in groups, sharing real achievements, everything becomes possible. We actually enable coaches to create trainings and engage their own tribes. So why now, you might ask? For two reasons mainly. One, you couldn't build this solution a couple of years ago. Smartphones couldn't handle the AI processing. And the second one, it's a huge market, growing a lot. You know how startups talk about this. We target this for fitness end users, but also to coaches. We like to believe that we are fitness assistants, even for fitness assistants. We are growing, and we have achieved 65,000 workouts completed. That's a lot of workouts. We are growing organically with a big retention rate. We are a multidisciplinary team, building AI before it was cool. And thank you. I hope I see you guys doing some squats because it's a universal language, so no excuses there. And thank you very much again.
Hello, my name is Bruno, and I will present Valve Ecosystems, a company that develops technology for improving health and quality of life. But first, let's talk about the problem that led to the creation of Balvia. Imagine millions of elder people having difficulty managing their medication. Imagine the struggle, the loss of independence and autonomy. Adding to that, imagine the anxiety and stress of the carers who are unable to help. Non-adherence is a serious problem that leads to serious consequences, with 125 billion euros wasted per year in the European Union. But worst of all, it costs lives, with 200,000 premature deaths per year. Our story started when a care company introduced us to this problem, and we developed our solution, an integrated ecosystem that helps not only the carers get remote access to the data, real-life data of the patients, but also it helps the management of the medication for the patients. We target mainly three groups: people that have difficulty managing the medication, formal or informal carers of these patients, and then care companies or institutions that offer services for the elder. In our business model, we focus on the B2B, where we offer our tools to companies that are already having services for the elder patients, such as pharmacies, insurance companies, or care companies. For more independent users, we offer the B2B solution where they can acquire our ecosystem. This is our transdisciplinary team, where we convert innovation into benefits to the society. I would like to invite you all to go with us in this journey, because together we can change the world of healthcare. Thank you.
Hi, how are you doing? So I'm Lucia. I'm Chief of Partnerships at iVirtual, a French company. So I'm delighted to be here with you tonight. So at iVirtual, we are innovators building the medical device of the future. So as you all know, a great deal of people lack access to essential health services in the world. This represents 4 billion people, which is half of the world's population. And at the same time, there is a lack of health workers. This represents 18 million people, 18 million health workers that are lacking in 2030. So this is why at iVirtual we have developed the medical device of the future, and we are on a mission basically to democratize access to healthcare. So this is our solution. It's a software as a medical device. So with a 30-second video selfie, you can get vital signs. So you can get heart rate, respiratory rate, heart rate variability, and stress level, only in 30 seconds. No need of any wearables, devices. It's frictionless, easy to integrate, and we are the first company in the world with this kind of technology that has achieved CE marking. We are a passionate team of 15 people. We were founded by 2 co-founders that are well-known experts in research in this field, in photoplethysmography, the technology actually. And we are backed by investors, Elia Partners, and UI Investments, and also by a medical board and a scientific board. We work already with telemedicine companies, in Portugal, for example, with Knock, and we also work with insurance companies on a B2B basis, and we are developing several use cases, such as remote patient monitoring for chronic diseases, telemedicine, but also underwriting, for example. And so that's it, basically. Don't hesitate to come to Web Summit to have a 30-second health checkup and to see what your stress level is. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm here representing Gripwise. Gripwise is a solution that makes the assessment of physical frailty of the elderly, which is a condition that carries high risks for inflammation, loss of autonomy, or even death. And it's a condition that has a cost for the European population, which assesses 50% of the older that has this kind of condition. And the cost for the EU healthcare systems are above 350 billion euros a year. However, this condition can be mitigated and even reversed with simple but effective measures, like health literacy, nutritional support, and physical activity. So we have created our solution based on our patented hand grip and also our mobile apps and cloud platform, which allows us to make this important assessment in less than 5 minutes in a simple workflow by people with simple training and anywhere, since it's portable. And we are providing this solution for professionals. Obviously, it can be held in hospital settings, primary care, pharmacies, but also in elderly care homes or even gyms. And we are providing this as an integrated solution, as a hardware and software solution. Our team is very experienced, but also very multidisciplinary. And since our solution also has the capability of making the assessment of physical frailty, but also rehab and even risk fall assessment, we are looking for partners that can help us to validate our solution, but also test it and help us with the go-to-market strategy. So if you are looking for someone that could be in your scope that needs this kind of help, please come and talk to me. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Whoops. Well, we're Binedge, and let's start with the problem. So the large generative AI models currently rely absolutely on the cloud. And for example, ChatGPT is estimated to cost $700,000 per day to run. And this arises a couple of problems. So high computing costs, scalability constraints, and perhaps most importantly, data privacy risks. But what if we can run generative AI locally? That's what we're building. Starting with your local chat app, with all the features from ChatGPT running locally on your computer. And local means zero computing costs, complete scalability, complete data privacy. And we know this is important for privacy-conscious organizations or even serverless corporations that are looking to integrate generative AI into their operations or products in a local way. And that's where we introduce EdGen. We are building the open source infrastructure for deploying generative AI applications on device. It's completely modular for models, applications, or even AI accelerators. And in short, this means
one software to run multiple generative AI applications locally. So we start with a very efficient infrastructure for local Gen AI app development to extremely efficient end-to-end local Gen AI applications that will be available on Edge and Disk. And we're currently adopting a freemium model with a per-user subscription for B2B clients. And well, we came a long way since January, from a university spin-off story to being one of the 9 Portuguese startups to watch on Sifted. But our vision remains the same, it's to bring AI to the edge. This is a team that will make it a reality. So thank you, and let's talk.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to be presenting Momentum Health today from Canada. 3% of children will be diagnosed with pediatric scoliosis, and by the time they hit the elderly population, 60% of people will be diagnosed with a spinal deformity. Just in the United States, that's 40 million people alone. Now, problems in spinal deformities evolve with age. In pediatrics, we have rapidly progressive, unpredictable deformities with lifelong consequences. As people get older, pain sets in, and we have worse health-reported quality of life than arthritis, diabetes, heart failure, and other problems. And then when we get really old, we have mobility issues and problems accessing care. We also know that spine surgeons lack an accurate triage tool. They spend 80% of time with patients that don't need any treatment, yet they're still the #1 revenue-generating surgical specialty in the United States. This is why we built the future of spine care. It starts with a basic 30-second video taken on any smartphone. You walk around the patient in a circle. We turn that into a quantifiable, to-scale, photorealistic 3D model to quantify asymmetries automatically via AI, and also predict the internal anatomy from the exterior. With this telehealth application, we can remotely screen, diagnose, and monitor spinal deformities to personalize the standard of care. Momentum Health moves faster and leaner than traditional medical devices. In just 18 months, we completed a pre-seed round of $2 million. We had an investment and a partnership with the AO Foundation, which is the largest orthopedic organization in the world. We received Health Canada and FDA approval last month, which is preparing us for our launch actually in the next week. Thank you very much.
So, thank you. I hope you are enjoying until now. I think this is quite a batch of startups we had up here. But still, we'll have more 5 amazing startups to hear. I just wanted to remind you that although we selected 14 startups this edition, unfortunately, not all of them could be here today. But now we'll have a video from DeepKeep. They also couldn't be here today, but they sent us this video. So we'll start with them, and we'll hear also more 5 awesome startups now. Well, yes, you can put the video. Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ronnie Ochayon, and I am the CEO of DeepKeep, providing end-to-end solution for AI security. We are 20 people based in Tel Aviv with very experienced management and R&D team. AI systems are used today in almost every industry, but it turns out that AI systems are vulnerable to new types of attacks. And this includes adversarial attacks, cyber attacks on AI, Gen AI risks, trustworthiness, and compliance and privacy issues. Let me give you one example of our customers using object detection system based on YOLO. Usually it is working perfectly, but we show that by putting an adversarial patch on the shirt of the system, suddenly the classification is that there is no person in the image, and you can see it in a video, a person is detected, but when showing this shirt with adversarial noise, suddenly no detection of a person in the image. And there are today multiple categories of attacks. This was example of evasion, but there are also poisoning, backdoor, denial of service, stealing attacks, malware injection, And the attacks can be in the digital domain, physical domain, and are relevant to any kind of AI-based system. In DeepKeep, we provide a solution that is based on 4 pillars. The first one is risk assessment to identify all the vulnerabilities and the risks. Then we provide a protection layer that protect all kind of machine learning system from all the non-vulnerabilities. In addition to that, we have a real-time detection layer that detect attack in real time, and then a mitigation layer that provides real-time mitigation. Our system is based on generative AI to optimize penetration testing, protection, detection, and mitigation services. And we target 3 main market segments: automotive, finance and insurance industry, and then the security industry. Thank you.
To start, I want you to remember the last time you had to run really fast to catch the last train home, and then you stopped and you couldn't catch your breath. That is exactly what people with asthma feel every time they have an asthma attack. I'm Filipa, co-founder and CTO of Fibridi, and I'll show you how we are changing asthma management. Asthma is the most common chronic respiratory disease in the world, causing a lot of death and healthcare costs worldwide every year. But why does this happen if there's already effective medication, the inhalers? Because more than 50% of the patients forget to take their medication, and more than 80% don't do it correctly, so the medication doesn't reach the lung. To face these challenges, we created Fibridi, a patent-pending medical device composed of 3 parts: a physical medical device that attaches to the inhaler the patient already uses, collects data, and transmits it to 2 digital platforms: the mobile app for the patient and the patient management platform for the doctors. We tell patients and doctors 2 main things: when the medication is done and how it's done, by evaluating the volume of air. Our benefits are clear. We cut in half the asthma attacks and the healthcare costs. We promote easier access to specialized care whenever the patients are, and we allow the doctors to provide a better care to more patients with the time they have available. In terms of our market, we are focusing on asthma. However, our solution is scalable to other respiratory diseases that use inhalers, as for example, COPD. This is our team. I already presented myself. I'm a biomedical engineer. Then we have our CEO, which is a medical doctor and deals with this problem in her clinical practice. Then we have a computer scientist, an electrotechnical engineer that is also a patient himself and lives with asthma for more than 10 years. So join us for a world free of asthma attacks and full of breath.
If you are using wheelchair, or you know someone who are using wheelchairs as the only means of movement, you may know that they are in a risk of getting one of the worst challenging wounds ever: bedsore or pressure injury. Bedsore appears when your body is being pressed between an external surface and your internal bones for a long time because of lack of movement. The living tissue starts to die because of the blood circulations being interrupted. In Sensomat, we are following high-tech solutions to avoid getting pressure injury and to prevent not only wheelchair users, but also other sensitive people, such as hospital-admitted patients and elderly in nursing homes, getting pressure injury. Our solution is easy. We are using our own patented sensors to measure the movements and let the users to make more movements, the wheelchair user or the caregivers who could do more movements to avoid getting pressure injury. The market of wheelchair users are guaranteed because 100% of wheelchair users know about this problem. And right now, they are using some facilities to avoid getting pressure injury. For now, we are looking for other opportunities to enter the ergonomic cushion and ergonomic seat and to use our sensors in car industry and car seats. This is our roadmap. We are now looking for fundraising, And between 5 to 6 months after the fundraising, we could start our first sales globally. This investment will be spent to complete our intellectual property registration and also to get CE marks and standards for our products in the next 6 months. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So Francisca told some time ago that healthcare is the most sexy thing on planet Earth. I'm going to talk to you about the most unsexy thing. It's called operations. So my name is André Luz. I am the CEO and the founder of Infinite Foundry. People always expect high things about operations, to be very efficient, to be high quality, to be super flexible. They are none of that. And the reason it's because there is a lack of understanding of operations. This is a very simple example of a welding. If you put a sensor in a welding machine, you know some parameters that are on the left side. A lot of other parameters that are on the right side you don't know. So now start to compile this together. So if you try to assemble a car and you just don't know how you weld it, that's the problem of operations. You rarely know what happens in an operation. Our technology uses digital twin to solve this problem. We pretty much allow you to virtually know and zoom to any area of the operation, even areas that are inside of machines, in areas and that are not sensorized. To that outcome, we use a physics-chemistry-based AI system so that it, in real time, calculates any parameter that you want to know so that you have full understanding and full control of the operation. This not only means that you avoid any mistake, but it can also help you to plan changes. We have started in the automotive sector, hence the example of the welding. That was one of our first ones. But we have also branched to many other sectors like energy and pharmaceuticals. Our company was founded in 2017. These are the numbers from last year. This year we are going to close at around 3 million revenue. And we are here to partner both with Fidelidade and Luz Saúde. So bringing our knowledge from assembly lines to operations in the health sector and also in risk management of Fidelidade. And one last thing about China, we are one of the few companies in the world that has infinite access to Huawei cloud. So that's just a teaser. Thank you very much.
So, hello everyone, we are Gluma and we detect breast cancer at an early stage. But first let me share with you the story that inspired us. This is Flipa, she's my cousin, and she had breast cancer. She used to do the breast self-exam, however, she didn't have confidence in herself doing this. So when she felt something in her breast, she thought it was nothing. 3 months later, the lump didn't disappear, so she went to the doctor. And the result? A malignant cancer and mandatory breast removal. But as Flipa, there are thousands of women who don't have confidence doing the breast self-exam, who don't know how to do it, or just simply forget to do it. And that's why 35% of breast cancers are not detected at an early stage. That's why we created the Sense Glove, a home and portable medical screening device that detects and monitors abnormalities in size and texture by combining pressure sensors and artificial intelligence. It is connected to a mobile app, so we remind women to perform the breast self-exam every month through push notifications. By having a tutorial in our mobile app, we replicate the exam step by step, and by combining it with sensors and AI, we create this unique system with an already submitted patent that allows us not only to detect abnormalities, but also to keep track of changes over time, providing actionable results. So, if the glove detects something, the app will send an alert to patients and connect them to their doctors. With a successful proof of concept where our sensors got the diagnosis right 88% of the time and a perfect record with no false negatives, and with our 6-member team with multiple skills, we are now distributing our first paid pilots, and we count with the help of Fidelidade to increase this number of paid pilots in order to first validate our business model, and second, to show that this is a product that can make the difference on women's lives, empowering them to take a better control of their breast health. So join us in our mission, because at Gluma, we cannot stop breast cancer, but we can help women stop dying from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for all the startups. I think that they answered very well to the challenge, to be honest. I liked almost all. I would say all. But I like to put pressure in everybody. Even in persons that are very, 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 I would say, they are very used to do this. It's always difficult try to catch the attention for the people and for the person after we saw this so brilliant presentation. So the pressure is made in a person. I just forgot my. So you need to introduce yourself because I just forgot exactly. So our keynote speaker, Rui Coutinho, Executive Director of the Innovation Ecosystem at now SPE, and helping me immediately because he already presented himself. So the stage is yours and the pressure also.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you, Fidelidade, Fosun, and Hospital de Luz. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm super impressed, super inspired by the startups. I knew already a few of them, but I always get psyched when I understand the level of creativity, the level of passion, and the level of ambition. So the journey is starting, this collaborative journey is starting now, and it's an open innovation journey. And this is something that we've been doing for the last 2 decades. Corporates and startups trying to work together. This is not the only things that we do in open innovation, but these collaboration journeys have been, I would say, transforming the way we innovate in corporates and also helping startups to accelerate their learnings, their validations, their go-to-market strategies. So it's a world of virtues, a world of possibilities. However, it's also a world of potential pitfalls. It's also a world of things that might not go well. We have to understand this, and we have to, in some sense, reimagine what open innovation is and consider all possibilities that all of you at Fidelidade, at Fosun, at Hospital de Luz, but all of you startups will face in the next months when you start deepening your collaboration. And the overall idea is that we need to transcend our individual perspectives. We need to move away from ecosystems and more into ecosystems. The most important problems we have ahead, and we've seen lots of them, I actually fell in love with all the problems that all of you are trying to solve. These are the things that makes us want to be here, makes us want to collaborate. But the solutions for these problems will require ecosystems, not just ecosystems. It will require the capability of understanding, of being humble, to understand that we will not do this alone. It's about these collaborations. Complex problems call for creative approaches. We know this, but creative approaches will need or will require meaningful collaborations. It's not possible for us to individually, like if we were an island, to solve them. We are all interconnected. We are all interdependent. So we need to collaborate. But these meaningful collaborations need transparent engagement. So this corporate and startup collaboration can't be like a dive into the unknown. And we all need to be aware that we are different. We need each other. We want to collaborate. We're in this to win, all of us. But we also need to acknowledge that there are differences, that we don't have the same background, that we don't have the same views on reality, and we might even want different things. And it is important for us to, in my opinion, accept, embrace, and accomplish. So in the journey that you're about to start in a much deeper way, it's important that before you go ahead, you accept a certain number of things. And then during the collaboration, that you embrace a certain number of things. And that after this collaboration, if you accept it, if you embrace, you will accomplish a few things. So let's take it step by step. So the first step for meaningful collaborations in open innovation is to accept, right? First, it's to accept that we have different expectations, that we want different things, that we're in this for different reasons, startups and Fosun, Fidelidade, and Hospital de Luz. Accept this, calibrate your expectations. You're different. Accept that you have different cultures. Accept that you think differently, that the way you all see the world is different. Be prepared for that, because that will generate some issues, some hurdles, some obstacles that you will need to face. So accept that you will also work at different speeds. Startups, you're fast and furious. Corporates, we're not so fast and not so furious. We tend to think twice and 3 times and then overthink. So we work at different paces. We need to be prepared for that. We need to be prepared from a corporate setup to be pressed on speed. And then from the startup side, we need to be prepared for how slow the corporate might be. Accept this. Don't just try to fight it or to ignore it. Accept that we value different things. We have different expectations, we want different outcomes, and we value different things. So it's calibrating these expectations and accepting that we want different things, that we think differently, that we work at different paces, and that we value different things. Guys, this will help us a lot, because navigating through the execution of these collaborations that you'll have will be easier if we develop this kind of empathy between each other. You know, we're all into how empathy is important when we empathize with our end users and end customers. You need to empathize between yourselves because you are different. So before you start, make sure that you know that the expectations are different, the culture is different, the speed is different, and the outcomes, we value different things. This will be helpful. But then we will kickstart it, and we will start the execution. And we need to embrace. We need to embrace not knowing. We need to be humble. Corporates, we don't know everything, even if we are leaders and incumbents. Startups, you're quite arrogant. You think you know it all. And you might be right. All of you need to be humble. Embrace not knowing. You're in this to learn from each other. This means that you don't know it all from both sides of the aisle. Embrace difference. Difference will generate friction. Friction is good, even if it is hard to manage. Meaningful collisions, when opposites start clashing, it's hard to manage. It will give you lots of headaches. You'll call each other bastards and things like that. But meaningful outcomes will come out of this. So embrace that friction. That friction is good. Don't try just to make this a smooth thing where everybody is agreeing. You will not agree. And if you're all agreeing, something might be wrong. Be careful with that. Embrace commitment. It's hard work, guys. Collaboration is showing up and making it happen. It's putting the effort. It's more transpiration than inspiration. It's about putting the hours. The corporates will ask you a few things. The startups will ask you a few things. And you'll need to put your A game. So bring your A team with your A knowledge, with your A insights, with your A intelligence. It will be hard work, not just beautiful utopian paradise scenarios. Embrace the power of community. Embrace altruism. You will need to support each other. You will need to help each other, corporates and startups. You have different knowledges, you have different insights, but you all bring outstanding capabilities. You all bring a vision, but you will need to value each other and work together. So you need to be altruists. This, from the execution standpoint, in my opinion, will help you a great deal. But then we also need to understand what are we looking for. What do we want to accomplish? So, accomplish measurable and valuable results. Not just, we prove that we will be able to save the world. That's interesting. But we need to turn that into something that is more concrete, measurable, valuable. We all know that you value different things. So what from Fidelidade and Fosun and Hospital de Luz will be valued might be different, but we measure it. We monitor it. We're not just looking for grand, eloquent changes and value propositions. This needs to generate value for both sides. Second, you need to accomplish knowledge. You need to have validated learnings. Guys, your main KPI from both sides of the aisle will be return on learning, not return on investment. You will not get filthy rich with this collaboration. You will get just one step closer of knowing much better what you will need to do from both sides. We want to accomplish new ways of doing things. You can learn from each other the processes, the methods, the steps that we need to take, the methodologies that you use. How the hell is the startup valuing that specific problem? Can you explain me what is the methodology in corporates? Fidelidade, can you tell me what kind of KPIs are those and what kind of metrics and what kind of tools are you using? That's great. So we can learn new ways of doing things. Normally we say that corporates want to do collaborations with startups because they want to learn the culture. But both ways also is important. On the other way is also important. Not just the culture, the way we do things. You know, we have big ships and small speedboats. You can learn from each other because small speedboats needs to be more consistent, more prepared to navigate to uncertain waters. And big ships, you need to be better at maneuvering. At turning right and turning red, you need to be agile and faster. So learn from each other. Accomplish those validated learnings. Measure them. Accomplish innovation. Guys, I think you all come here, corporates and startups, looking for validation of your value propositions, validation of your concepts, validation of your problems. That is important. But most likely, you will innovate in all of that. Embrace that, accomplish that. Go for better value propositions. Go for improvements. Go for iterations if that is the case from both sides. Okay? So I think that if we accept, I think that if we embrace, we will be able to accomplish. And there are good examples of this where ecosystems evolve into ecosystems. The nature of the problems you all want to solve, the magnitude of those problems, the urgency of those problems call for outstanding creativity, collaborations for great creative solutions. Success in an ecosystem is as much as helping each other to create value as it is about creating value for yourself. So yes, it's good for you, but it will be better for you if it is better for everyone. And this transcends the notion of the relationship between a corporate and a startup that is like a supply chain, a supplier, a client. It's a partnership, it's a collaboration, and there are good examples of this. I bring you just two in a nutshell. Nespresso. Nespresso, the whole business of Nespresso is an ecosystem because Nespresso accepted that for them to be successful, they would need the original equipment manufacturers, the machines. And they don't produce machines. They engage with DeLonghi and Krups, and they say, guys, if you develop the technology for this, we will guarantee that you will have demand. Of course, you have to pay us a royalty, but you can take that business. It will be good for you because it will be good for us, and vice versa. This way, Nestlé doesn't have to worry about developing technology to build machines and sell machines. And DeLonghi and Krups doesn't have to worry if they will have clients because Nestlé will provide them with the clients. Good for all of them. But this was the story, the original story of Nespresso. But Nespresso keeps on doing this. So what's interesting, and I brought this example, it's this collaboration between Blue Marble, an insurance startup, and Nespresso. And by the way, the insurance startup transcends and coordinates with other insurance companies, some of them very, very big. And what they're looking for, to help small coffee producers to be insured of weather evolution and climate change. Small producers don't have their crops insured. So when it rains too much or it rains too little, they have no production. And if they have no production, well, yes, Nestlé will not have enough coffee, but especially the small producers will not have income to feed their families. So it's not about Nespresso, it's not about Blue Marble, it's about the local producers. Those individuals, small landowners in Colombia, and how they can be insured so that, as they say, they can have the peace of mind to just worry about being productive. Good for Nespresso, good for Blue Marble, good for the insurance companies, good for the country. So ecosystemic collaboration, partnerships between startups and big corps, but focusing on this notion that we accept that we are different, we embrace those differences, and we want to accomplish common results that are good for everybody. A good example, less sexy perhaps, is how BNP Paribas Fortis in Belgium wanted to explore with electric mobility. Why a bank exploring with electric mobility? Of course, they know nothing about it, so they had to learn, and to learn, they want to collaborate. They want to collaborate with startups, in this case with Optimile, to understand and learn from what will electric mobility be and what will represent from a financial standpoint. And that collaboration, it's a very bilateral collaboration, less sexy, in the sense that it's not solving people's self-employment and self-income work. It's not social innovation. Yes, it's very pragmatical. BNP Paribas Fortis wants to learn about electric mobility. Optimile wants to develop good value propositions. So they partner up and they pilot. And they have good roadmaps. What was important in this collaboration is that the roadmap of collaboration was very clear. And the connection between both companies, the empathy that was developed between the founders of the startup and the people at Fortis that was developing the project was immediate. It was a human story more than a thing about a bank investing in or working in electric mobility. But it led to investment. BNP Paribas Fortis, together with AG Insurance, now are investors in Optimile. So different stories, different approaches, different starting points, different ambitions. But two examples where corporates and startups accepted, embraced, and accomplished. And this is not new. This is old. This comes from the Second Industrial Revolution. Together, it's much better. So enjoy that ride. Accept each other, embrace each other, accomplish together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rui. Great talk, by the way. So now we're coming to an end. José? But first, I want to thank everyone for being here because truth is, protecting success is only possible because of all your commitment and effort and also your presence today. So thank you. And first, thank you for the startups, also for your hard working during the boot camps and for your pitches today. They were amazing. Also, thank you to our innovation heroes because your mentoring was also super useful and was really important to have your all effort and commitment also during all this mentoring. And of course, also our business units to make things happen with the startups. And last but not least, also our partners, Fabricat Startups, Shilling, and Big Start Venture, also for making all this happen and all this possible. So thank you.
Yep, we spoke on the beginning, this is an event on the road of protecting, so it is not ending here. It's on the way, will end on the April 24. This is exactly what Rui Coutinho was explaining, exactly what we are challenging, exactly the collaboration between the startups and the corporates. We are exactly on that process. We know that we are in some of the startups. Some startups are in on us. So this is all the things, all these mixed feelings that we are together evaluating and to see where you're going to be in April 24. But we know where you're going to be in the next 5 minutes, drinking some drinks around here and connecting the dots on the connecting board. So thank you so much for being here or online, and hopefully we'll keep on track and collaborating and learning with all the good things that Rui was explaining us. So Rui, yes, you've done well.
Yes. Thank you. Grab a drink, connect, and enjoy.